In the previous video, we touched on the following issues. Who can count on support under the Arbeitslosengeld II program? What steps should be taken to get the benefit? What should I pay attention to when preparing the application documents? In this video, we will continue discussing this topic and pay special attention to what exactly is the program of assistance to the unemployed in Germany. As in the earlier video, I will give examples from our experience of living on this benefit and try to answer the following questions. The status of the program participant. How much will the state pay? What will be the total payment for a family with 2 children? How can you convince the curator of the need for additional funding? What rights and obligations will help you achieve your goals most effectively? Hi, this is Ki, and I'm Gira. Let's assume that our hero applied and became a member of the state support program. What's next? First, since January 2021, they have been receiving a monthly allowance of 802 euros per married couple. Payments for child support depend on age. Children aged from the day of birth to 5 years get 283 euros per month. From 6 to 13, 309 euros. From 14 to 17, 373 euros. And from 17 to 25, 357. Provided that the child continues to live with the parents. From the age of 18, recipients of the state support have the right to move to a separate apartment, the costs of which are fully covered by the state. In this case, the child becomes a separate applicant and receives 446 euros per month. Regardless of the status, all families are supported by the state with the so-called Kindergeld, children's money, in the amount of 219 euros per month. From the moment of participation in the Arbeitslosengeld II assistance program, the living expenses are guaranteed by the state. As a rule, this is a basic rent plus operating expenses. Let's calculate the total payments for a family with 2 kids living in Munich. As we remember, each child should get a separate room. Thus, a family with 2 children has the right to a 3-bedroom apartment. If the applicant has become a member of the program in Munich, he is guaranteed payment of housing in the amount of 1,209 euros per month for 90 square meter plus OPEX. As of the 2021, the rent of a 3-bedroom social apartment in Munich will cost from 900 euros per month plus OPEX. Social housing refers to housing built with full or partial financing from the city budget. Based on this, the city limits the cost of rent for this housing, which allows the program participant to remain within the scope of the assistance provided. Such housing, at a relatively low price, is allowed to rent exclusively to recipients of financial support from the state. For example, renting a 3-bedroom apartment at a free market price in Munich will cost 2,000 or 3,000 euros per month plus OPEX. Yes, Munich is not only one of the most beautiful, but also one of the most expensive cities in Europe. A bit of math. In our example, we'll calculate the basic indicators for the 2021. A living costs base rent 1,209 euros. Operating expenses 400 euros. Current expenses for 4 people 1,548 euros. Children's money 438 euros. Hence, the family of the program's participants living in Munich receives a monthly payment guaranteed by the state in the amount of 3,595 euros. Furthermore, on a separate application, the program participant is entitled to get additional financial assistance for moving to a new flat, repairing the apartment, buying furniture, household appliances, and other household items, expenses for health care, assistance for the period of pregnancy, as well as for the birth of a child, kindergartens, various educational programs, advanced training courses, legal services, basic medical and pension insurances. All this is a part of a program funded through the social law. State support for socially vulnerable population can indeed be called social. When we arrived in Germany, we were surprised by the amount of assistance and how the employees of the labor agency tried to help us understand our rights as recipients of the state assistance. Of course, we've had to be aware about our responsibilities. If the program participants' goal is to integrate into the public order of the country, then you can count on the support of the state almost in all aspects. One example from our life in 2005. After getting the status of a member of the Arbeitslosengeld II program, we received a confirmation of payment for the future apartment that we had to find. Back in an unfamiliar city, we had a room in a temporary hostel on the outskirts of Aachen. At the time, we had no computer, no phone, no internet access. In the old-fashioned way, we bought several newspapers and began to look for housing according to the then very incomprehensible rules for us. In order to call on ads or just relatives in Russia, we went to a telecom center or called from a public phone on the street. Today, it might seem improbable, but in 2005, in a new place, we had literally nothing but far-reaching plans for the future, a 2-year-old daughter, and 2 bicycles. The strong belief in those who seek will find it helped us to find a good apartment within a few days and to issue documents and financial assistance for moving. Moreover, leading an open conversation with the curator and giving arguments why we need certain household appliances, the labor agency approved an amount almost 3 times higher than the standard support for this case. For example, the purchase of a TV of our choice was justified by the need to learn German as fast as possible and thereby increase our chances on the labor market. The curator smiled back to us and approved our application in full. In addition to the above, it's possible to receive comprehensive support in each specific case. One of the fundamental rights, which is also the obligation of the recipient of assistance, is to find work in all possible and accessible ways. At first, without knowing the rules for finding a job in Germany, we took incorrectly filled out resumes by bicycle to almost all large and medium-sized companies in the city. Of course, we didn't have the slightest chance of getting an invitation to a personal meeting. They didn't even send us any refusals. In one of the following videos, I will tell you about our history of finding a job and moving from the western part of North Rhine-Westphalia to the south of Bavaria. This video will also be based on our own experiences, including what has helped us and maybe can help others achieve their goals in a shorter period of time. By clicking on the links in the description, you will be able to learn more about the information on the topic social assistance in Germany, provided by official sources. as well as get to know with offers for renting real estate. Thank you for your time. See you.